Hi everybody, this is Laura with Krazy Kool Cakes. I'm doing a quick tutorial to show you all how to properly use tappets. Some of you have seen that on a lot of our cake boards, on a lot of our cakes, we like to write happy birthday or some type of a little message on the presentation board, and a lot of you have asked how we make those letters, where do we get the mold. So we're going to show you very quickly how to make them. I want to first of all show you the different sets of tappets that are available, and of course there's many more available than the ones that we just have, but the ones that we like to use a lot are called Funky Alphabet and Numbers. It's a cutter set and they're made by FMM products, and you can find these online. I'll put a couple of links underneath this video so that you guys can easily find these. And so these tappets here have all capital letters, okay, and then they have numbers as well, and they come in a long tappet like this one, and they're very thin, so your gum paste can't be too thick. So I'm going to show you guys very quickly how to use these. Let me show you the other sets of tappets that we use. This is the same thing, but these are lowercase letters, okay, very cute. So you can make all your letters capital, or the first one capital and the rest lowercase. All right, so these are also the Funky Alphabet by FMM. And then another set by FMM are a different type of font. This is a lowercase FMM product, and let me show you what these look like. These are really little. They're very clean and modern looking type of font. Okay, so they're very easy to use. Once you know how to properly use them, they're very easy to use. I know that it can be a little bit frustrating when you're not sure how to use them, but I'm going to show you guys the easiest way. And then the last set that we have are the same by FMM. I'm showing you the label so when you see them online you know exactly what to buy. And this is the alphabet, number, and cutter set by FMM. Okay, and that's what these look like. They're capital letters. Okay, so I'm going to show you now how to cut out a few letters. And basically all you need is you're going to need some cornstarch. I always have a little can of cornstarch readily available. You're too close. Okay, and then a rolling pin. You're going to need whatever gum paste you're going to be using. And if you're not immediately sticking them on your board or whatever you're putting them on, it's a good idea to have just a plastic sleeve. This is from Wilton. You can buy these at any craft store like Hobby Lobby or Michael's. You don't have to necessarily buy one of these. Anything plastic you can cover with some plastic wrap, or if you happen to have some of those plastic folders like from Office Depot, you know, that you put your book reports in, you can use those too. This is just to temporarily keep your gum paste moist and keep the moisture from evaporating before you glue them on. So I'm just gonna probably make a couple of these. We'll do a letter O, and we'll do a letter N. And as you can see, these are very swirly. Okay, there's a lot of little parts inside of these, so I'll show you guys how to be able to get the gum paste out in case it starts wanting to stick on you. Okay, so you start off by getting just a little piece of gum paste. You want to knead it so it's nice and pliable. I like to roll it to make sure that it does not have any cracks or wrinkles. And you want to roll it out pretty thin. I would say no less and no more than 1/8 of an inch in thickness. And I'll show it to you once it's rolled out, so you'll see more or less how thick it should be. Okay, so you can see it's pretty paper thin. If you see it up against the light here, you can see my fingers through it. That's how thin it should be. Okay, so only about 1/8 of an inch thick. Now, as you can see, the letter is a lot smaller than this piece of gum paste. So to make it easier, what I like to do is I like to take a blade. You can use an X-Acto knife or whatever you want and cut it into a smaller piece. Right here, just from the gum paste that I rolled out, I can easily have enough gum paste for 4 letters. Okay, so I'll put those off to the side, and I'm just gonna use one piece here. Then I take a little bit of cornstarch. I'm just gonna put some into my little lid here. Not a lot, that's all I need. Okay, and the first thing you need to do, let's do the letter O first. So I take a little bit of cornstarch on my finger, and then I just dab it inside the letter. Very easily. Make sure all the edges, you don't want to, you know, drench it in cornstarch, just enough to get it a little bit powdery. Then what I do is I take a little bit more cornstarch on my finger and I rub it on the gum paste that's going to be touching or going into my letter. I turn it over, and I also add a little bit of cornstarch on the back where the rolling pin is going to go, because you don't want the gum paste sticking to the rolling pin, and as the rolling pin's going back and forth, you don't want to accidentally lift it off of your letter. Okay, so now my gum paste has cornstarch on both sides. So I just simply place the gum paste over the letter, maybe tap it just a tiny little bit to make sure it's on there. If you feel a little bit better about it, add a little bit of cornstarch to your rolling pin. And you're just gonna place it on there and roll in one direction, roll away, place it in the middle again, roll in the other direction. Now you can start to see the cutter coming through the gum paste. Okay, so just roll a little bit more back and forth, and now you can do it a little bit faster because now you know the gum paste isn't gonna come off. And to make sure you get a nice clean cut, what I do is I like to use the end of my rolling pin, and all I do is just gently go over the lines, just to make sure that when it comes off, I'm not gonna have a bunch of tiny little flaky edges on my letter. I like it to be nice and clean. Okay, so that should be enough right there. Then all you have to do is take the gum paste off. Now you can see that the center of the O stayed in there. Okay, so I'll show you how to get that out in a little bit. And it's called a tappet because all you have to do is just tap it on your table and it should come out. So this is the way I like to get them out. You don't need to bend it all the way back because then you're gonna break it. Okay, there's the middle part, came off. There you go. There's the letter O. Okay, and like I said before, we have our little plastic folder here just to make sure that our letter stays nice and moist in the meantime. Okay, let's do one more just so you guys feel confident about working with this. Let's do the letter N. Okay, get a little bit of cornstarch, dab it inside the letter, not too much, just enough to make sure it's not going to stick. Okay, here's a piece of gum paste that should fit well in here. All right, so get a little bit of cornstarch, rub it on both sides of your gum paste. There's one side. There's the other side. Put it on top of my letter N. Just gently press it down to make sure it's not going to move when you put your rolling pin on it. And again, I feel better about putting a little bit of cornstarch on my rolling pin that's going to be touching the gum paste. Place it in the middle of the letter and roll to one direction. Place it in the middle, roll to the other direction. Now you can go over, back and forth. You see the cutter coming through, so you know the gum paste isn't gonna pop out on you by accident. Okay, take the end of your rolling pin and just go over the edges of the letter. Not too hard because you don't want to start scratching the end of your rolling pin either. So there I can pretty much feel that it's completely come through. I'm gonna lift my gum paste off. Okay. And before I tap this out, I just want to show you guys what you can do if just in case you start tapping it like crazy and it doesn't want to come out. So what I have here, a lot of you have seen in my tutorials, I always have this little pin cushion, little tomato pin cushion, and it's got some pins. If for some reason your letter gets stuck, all you have to do is take your pin, and you're not gonna stab it completely through the letter, just enough in the to go in the surface, and as you can see, it lifts up very easily, okay? But that's only if your letter gets stuck. Always have a little pin around, okay? But this should come right out because we put a good amount of cornstarch on it. There's the letter N. Okay, and then of course place it in your little plastic. Okay, if you're gonna glue these on something like a plaque or a board, you just need a very little paintbrush, and you just add edible glue to the back and you glue it on there. Okay, so hope this helps a lot of you guys, and like I said, I'll put some links underneath this video so you guys know where to purchase your funky alphabet letters and your regular letter cutters from FMM. And of course, FMM is not the only company that makes them. All you have to do is just get online and Google or search tappets, and you should be able to find a lot of places that sell these. So let me know if you guys have any questions, and have fun using your tappets. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.